Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. We will chant the prayer of Chaitanya. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean, and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drown deep in the waves of his bliss, chanting his name continually, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, and each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than the blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself. Give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning person in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desires, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet, let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thy arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence. Though it tears my soul asunder, O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. Let us quietly reflect on the divinity that is within all of us. Repeat to yourself silently, I am that divine being. Om, peace, peace, peace. Today is an auspicious day. It's called Snan Yatra. That is, it's auspicious for many reasons. One is the Lord in his form of the Lord of the universe, Jagannath at Puri, is given a kind of a ritual bath, and that's considered very auspicious. The same thing is done with Sri Ramakrishna in Sri Ramakrishna's temple. And Dakshineshwar, the whole temple complex, was inaugurated on this day. As we know, the deity Kali appeared to Rani Rashmani and said, why are you keeping me enclosed here? And when they opened the box where the statue was kept in, they found it sweating. And they said, what's the next auspicious day for installation? And they found it was this day, Snan Yatra. Today's topic is memories and memories. Memories, just memories. It's a vast, very vast subject. I don't know if I'm going to do justice to it, but we'll take some of the salient points and dwell on that. In Vedanta, mind is one. Of course, everybody says mind is one. But it's called Bahurupi. It has many forms. You may have one mind, but it has various forms. In Vedanta, mind is one aspect of what is called the inner instrument. It's called Antakaran. Anta is inside, Karana is instrument. So we have intelligence, we have mind, we have the sense of self, and we have intelligence. Okay. Now these functions are not compartmentalized, obvious reasons. One flows into the other. At one point of time, one function is predominant. But these are the structures of the inner instrument. Okay. Mind, intellect, sense of self, and memories. You see how I forgot? Memories and memories. So somebody was asking me, what do you mean by memories and memories? I wanted to say more memories. But it also means that we have memories of memories. Yeah, this is something which Western psychology has not come to. So we have memories of memories, and again, memories of memories of memories, and memories and memories and of memories and memories. Yes. So this mind, manas, intelligence, buddhi, ahankara, the sense of self, the self-identity, and chitta, that's the storehouse of memories. This storehouse teems with memories. Everything that we have done and said and thought and experienced, everything. That's a fascinating thing. Every living organism has a chitta, because you can find things work on instinct. We are very instinctive. Instinct is nothing but old memories. They have become fossilized. We work according to that. So this inner instrument is full of memories. Now, they are in 4 main forms. There are some which are sleeping, dormant. Don't wake them up. Let them sleep. There are some which have been attenuated, become weak. There are some which have become overpowered. And the 4th one is, there are some which have become expanded. Now the sleeping memory is Tanu, Prasupta Tanu Vichinna Udharanam. So those dormant memories, let them be there. The ones which are weakened because of other memories which have come and countered them. And then we have some memories that have become kind of desiccated, that is cut into various things and spread around. They have become more or less overpowered. You can overpower. And the other ones are the expanded. So, like, I'm walking in a shopping mall and I see a chocolate, and old impressions suddenly become expanded. And then I go towards that aisles where there are chocolates. It impels you. It is this fourfold functions that actually impel you towards things. Now, every receptacle of the mind with the memories, and then we have intelligence and sense of self, and then we have, you can say, the mind. It works on the principle of name and form. Everything in this universe has name and form. Even an abstract thing, it might not be tangible, it has a name and it has an abstract form. Everything in this universe. Think of it, and you have to have a name, or you call it something, and it has a form. Okay. The same thing if it's out there in nature. Everything in nature, it's here also. Because Vedanta studied nature outside by not going out there, by going in. And they found the same laws that operate there, operate here also. What operate here, operate there also. So these, if you ask somebody, where's the mind? They'll say, oh my God, yeah, there's mind. And how do these perceptions, what do these, you can say, cognitions or perceptions or experiences, how do they lie in the mind? Now, there's a neural signature or standpoint of neurology. Okay. But in Indian philosophy and psychology, there is something called samskaras, impressions. So when I go out, I see a dog. How do I know it's a dog? Because I refer it to old perceptions of dogs. Nothing is simple. Every cognition is very complex. And every impression, every cognition leaves an impression. I think that's better. So we have this in the old word in neurology, they used to use the word engrams. They don't do it. But memories, etc., are stored in the hippocampus. I mean, where again new neurons are made. So you don't need to think, oh, I'm losing my neurons every day. Yeah, thousands. But don't worry, we are being manufacturing them also. So it's a very, you can say, plastic organism, the brain, as well as it can be molded and remolded over and over again. What molds and remolds your brain or in the mind or the memories? Okay. So it's abstract, yeah, it's inside, but you can see its action on the body. Suppose I remember a especially distressing episode in my life, and you can see my heart racing, and you can see I start sweating slightly, and everything, my body temperature goes up. But this is found everywhere. There's a kind of a stress that is generated. Okay. But even if the body is not stressed in that way, when you look at a person's eyes, and the person's eyes are restless, what does that mean? The mind is restless, obviously. So, but when you look slightly, if a person is standing there in front talking to you, the person looks eyeballs are slightly up and to the right, it means that person is reconstructing old memories or creating new ones. Yeah, we do create memories. Looking up and to the left is a person is accessing eidetic memory, that is photographic memory. That's very vivid imagery. Leaves a mark there. There are some minds which leave a mark. Okay, so looking up and to the left is eidetic memory. Looking level and to the right means you're accessing old soundtracks. Looking down and to the right, yeah, it recalls, you're recalling emotional memories. Emotional, and there are other studies that say motor memories also. Looking down and to the left means a person is resorting to a kind of an internal dialogue. Now, this much for the internal things. Look at us. We all run on memories. Social life is nothing but memories. Everything. We have museums, we have galleries, and you have archaeology and geology and history, and we have memorial days and we have birthdays and we celebrate this. Society has to remember its past. It's a kind of a continuity. It has to. Some events are celebrated. Okay, let's have the 4th of July. What has 4th of July to do with me? No, it's a kind of reminder me for all the things that have happened there and all the people who have struggled there and worked for this. So social life, it's all memories. Otherwise, society won't even run if it doesn't have a timeline. And these things are inculcated in us from a young age. In ancient India, the scripture, the Vedas are called, you know what? Shruti. Heard. That which was heard. And the secondary scriptures are called Smriti, remembered. So there were these sages who intuited these mantras and then they transmitted down to their disciples or their children or over. And this went on for hundreds of years. I won't say hundreds, thousands of years. Imagine almost half of that society was involved only in listening to those mantras, remembering and transmitting it down to the future generations. It has never been done before, and it will never. It's not oral tradition only. Oral tradition are just stories. You tell stories, and the stories in time gets distorted, etc. All societies had these oral traditions. But this was, as Max Muller also says, it's the strictest intellectual discipline. How these guys, they memorized the entirety of the Vedas and the other ancillary scriptures and remembered and transmitted down. And of course, they had nothing else to do but this. But you know what kept them going? Saying these are sacred things, and they gave their life for it. Today we don't even bother about that. Oh, okay. Yes. So when they gave their life for it to protect that knowledge protected them. That was the idea. So sacred knowledge is always that which protects you also. So we spoke about the inner instrument. What is it made of? You know, okay, memories, yes, teeming with memories, but what's a material? It's just matter, material, the material that we have. Otherwise, you would not be able to interact with the external world. If you weren't synchronized with it, the food that you eat has to get synchronized with you in your body. We think we are so separate, we are so elevated. And no, nothing. We are enmeshed with every aspect of nature. The mind also is material. That's a good thing. Otherwise, imagine all those memories will become immortal. So when suppose we look at a vast lake, what do we see? We see a lake. Really? Think about it. You're seeing only the surface of the lake. You're not seeing the waters down there. You assume, and correctly, that there's water. So the mind also is material. What you see of the mind is nothing but the surface. That's called a conscious layer. But then you also know that water circulates. It flows and circulates. So the water beneath comes to the surface, and the surface water goes up. That's going on all the time in the oceans, in lakes, and everywhere. So the subconsciousness and consciousness, they work in tandem. They're part of the same thing. So it is material. But people think, oh, the mind is material? Oh, yeah. In the old days, it was considered to be a spirit body. No, we have a spirit, and we have a human being, and then there's a spirit inside. It's in Indian philosophy, it's very clear that it is called a subtle body, sukshma sharira. Like we have a body, this physical body, there's another body inside. That is your real personality. That has to be cultivated, not this thing. This thing can be anything. So, to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it will give you the idea. This subtle body inside, it's like water, it takes a form of whatever it fills in. So as long as it's there within, it appears to have a kind of a shape, physical shape, the physical body shape. But it has 19 components. Oh God. Already we have so many teeming memories inside. But these are the structures within the mind, within the inner subtle body. So you have the five organs of perception, sense organ, the 5 motor organs, the 5 pranas, and then these 4 functions: intelligence, memory, mind, and the sense of self. So these make up the subtle body. And also, remember, all those memories, they're kind of, somebody has left the graffiti. We are leaving the graffiti on whatever we do. So this full, and it has various colors also. These colors depend on what type of memories these are. Okay. And so, you hear of people seeing an aura. Some aura, what do you see? Auras, everything is an aura. But different people have different colored auras. And that depends on the quality of the mind, of the inner instrument. So in this subconsciousness where everything is there written, it's a very complex world. It is the seat of creativity. We have absolutely no control over it. Absolutely. There's no chance. Ordinarily, only in spiritual practices we can redirect it. So all the creativity and the arts and the music, etc., it happens down there. Because no impression, no memory is static. It starts mixing with other memories. So how creative it is, some people are very creative. They have a very fluid subconscious levels. And it flows, forms, reforms, integrates, disintegrates, again reforms, constantly morphing. Okay. So there's, like I said, we have absolutely no conscious control over those realms. Okay. So very dynamic. But like Carl Jung says that there are some universal archetypes there, like the mother figure, the hero, and these universal symbols, even religion, there, it's down there. All the various rituals and forms of religion are there. They emerge from all the universal symbols. Okay. Okay, that being said, my God. So, ordinarily, what is memory? You must be able to reduplicate the original cognition, either partially or more or less correctly. Then it's called memory. So that means there has to be a kind of retrieval system that takes things from inside and shows it, here it is. You've seen this before. You had this before. You said this before. You were silly like this before. Okay. So this retrieval system, how it operates, we don't know. I mean, ordinarily we don't know. There's an entire system that helps in retrieving certain things. So how does it? But it works on the system of cueing. Memory needs an external cue. Something comes in, oh, I remember that. The cueing can also come from other memories. So again, the memories work on something called, it has to be cued, it has to be impelled. Except, of course, in the state of dream. It runs on its own kind of course. So there is something called, the first is, input and retention and recall. The first input and retention are learning processes. Recall is memories proper. Okay. It also depends on, suppose you are studying, whether you're tired or you're angry or you're hungry or whatever, it affects your recall. Yeah. Stress and tension and anxieties affects your recall. Bad food, bad lifestyles affects your recall. So there are various factors. The state of your body, it depends on the person to person, time to time, and place to place. Sometimes you remember more in the morning. By the time it's late afternoon, your mind has become a little dull. By evening, again, it has perked up. It also depends on your circadian rhythm that runs your body. So last time we had spoken about, how pearls are made. some stimulus or some irritant comes from outside, and the oyster throws out its own enameling. And then slowly in time it becomes a pearl. So things come from outside within, and our mind projects itself on that stimulus or sensations coming from outside. And we always see our own mind. Always. So something comes from outside, and so there's something called this external world is unknown and unknowable, and it can be known through the mind only. And then it sinks down after the initial cognition, sinks down, but leaves a mark. So if you go down to the Grand Canyon, some of you have gone there, and as you go down deeper, you go down in time, all the various layers. So similarly, the subconscious mind also has various layers, a lot of pearls there. You go and try to find it. If you're a pearl diver, various levels. So you go back in time. Those old pearls, some of the old pearls, they have become fossilized. They are the vasanas. That is, it gives the wherewithal to live, that which dwells. So impressions, samskaras, becomes vasanas. These are the guys who will lead you to future births. So there are two types of impressions, samskaras. Knowledge impressions, like knowledge of this or this and this, will not create a bondage. And there's another type of knowledge, karmashaya. That's a receptacle of karma. These are the guys who transit from this, sometimes year, from the knowledge area to the karma area. So memories become what is called karma. Yeah, because I'm speaking from the standpoint of memories. Everything is memories, everything is karma. So no, like I said, no memory stands alone. It's fluid, it seeks its companions or its similarities and interfaces with them. And it's a vast network, vast. Like you've seen schools of fishes, or you can say a flock of birds, how they move in synchronous movement. Who tells them? Nobody tells them anything. They just see the guy near. That guy has moved a little, I'll need to make a little space. And that guy, and it's such a beautiful movement. Impressions in the subconscious mind work exactly like that. The whole network, they come, they move. There are also something called false memories. Take for instance, the earth is flat. You've been hearing that. There are some people who still believe that. These are false memories. The earth is flat. You will keep on repeating to others also, and insist also. And so these are false memories. And hundreds of other things. You read about something and then you say, oh, it's a fiction, but you have accepted it as true. So the false memories and true memories also form a vast network. They are part of that. You must be able to separate the false from the true. That is what is discernment. And we walk, talk, live, this, that. It's like I said, we are running on memories. The last time we were talking about the entire DNA is nothing but encoded memories. And that is decoded as to make a body. Nothing. And then not only we have the DNA, we have something called the epigenetics also, which is a form of memory. Take for instance your immune system itself. Do you run your immune system? You don't. The immune system runs on its own. Again, it knows certain pathogens have come. Hey, attack. You are blissfully unaware of this, except when the threat is very vast, large, and you get a fever. So the body is run. You know how proteins fold? If you see that, you'll be you'll get stunned. My God, such a complex process. You don't run it. Who's running it? Memories. It's running on memories. So everything that we are doing is nothing but we are being impelled. Okay. Now, wherever there's a positive, there's always a negative. There's joy, there's sorrow. If there are memories, there has to be amnesia. You must forget also. That's part of the system. It's built into the system. Imagine if we remember everything. There are people who remember everything, and that those memories become like they torment that person at times. Oh yeah. So I'm just briefly kind of touching on like I said, the salient points. So lack of sleep, etc., also disturbs the memory. Bad food, etc. Memory is consolidated with meditation. Now, all memories, no, the divine memories are consolidated, and the other memories are kept subdued. That's why you say meditate. That's the best thing that you can do for your mind. We listen to movies and songs. It's all memories. So Chandogya Upanishad says, quotes, even if many people who do not have memory sit together, surely they will not hear, think of, and know anyone. Should they indeed have memory, then they will hear, thereafter they would think, then they would know. Through memory, one recognizes one's son, through memory, the animals. So here it is, speaking about sanity and insanity. This is the thin line. Yes. So if you see certain types of insanities, the person runs only on old instincts. That person is out of the world. They say out of his mind. So as I said, yeah, our waking state is completely dominated by memories, and so is our dream state also. And we have this, it's only in delta sleep, deep sleep, when we are free from all memories. And then you see what happiness you get when you sleep deeply. It's rejuvenating. Other than that, those memories are there. Your very sense of self and the sense of the social self depends on memories. Oh yes. Yeah, it's a long kind of just to put it briefly. So, okay. Now, does material have memory? We don't know whether atoms and molecules, etc., at that very lower level run according to memories, but we know that they run according to laws. There are laws, physical laws, like physics and quantum laws, and there itself is a big problem. There's in the quantum world, there's a quantum laws, but there's something called the uncertainty principle also. We don't know how it will behave. But in certain philosophies in India, you say water, air, fire, earth, and space also. In its very subtle forms, they have a type of memory. Okay. Yeah, very fascinating. Okay, let's go. We'll leave it at that only. So, spiritual life, because you have got to come down to spiritual life. You're going to sit up only and getting disillusioned with your own memories and the memories of everything that runs your life. The spiritual life is also nothing but an accumulation of spiritual memories. And as these memories keep on increasing, like you take repeating the name of God, japa, meditation, chanting, anything, they are building up all these spiritual memories. And the collective spiritual memories is nothing but what is called, hold your breath, it's a kundalini. People think there's a snake out there inside. There's no snake. They coiled up memories of your own real nature, spiritual nature, of course. Okay. And you see, this subtle body in which all these things, it survives death. So when you go from here to there, you are going with all your old memories. You think I've forgotten everything. Sorry, I'm going to go along with you. As the Upanishad, yata karma, yata shrutam. What you have heard, what knowledge that you have, and what karma have you done. They go along with you. And Bhagavad Gita, Vayur Gandha Nivasaya. Like the wind carries the, you can say, odors, sweet odors, aroma. So similarly, the memories and everything go along with you. You cannot. Swami Vivekananda quoting an English poet, trailing clouds of glory we come. Yes, trailing clouds of also black smoke we come. So we come and go, trailing all these things. Is there then no respite? Of course, yoga destroys or burns impressions, all samskaras, all vasanas, everything. Otherwise, what's the point in practicing yoga? Yoga in the sense, I mean, the spiritual side of yoga, not the physical side. So it's called state of Dagda Bija, burnt seed. They appear, the memories might be there, but they have become impotent. That is, they are burnt to the fire of yoga. The Upanishads also say that the fire of yoga burns a cage of sin. Person becomes immortal. The fire of yoga. Okay. Then, okay, let's put it like that. In one of the Upanishads saying, Krato smara kritagang smara, krato smara kritagang. The Sanskrit means, oh my mind, remember. Remember all that you have done. Remember all that you have done. This is at the point of death. That person is telling his mind to remember all that the person has done. All the good things that person has done. There is also at the very end of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tells Sri Krishna, after he has understood the whole thing, Nashto moha smriti labdva. My delusion has been dispelled. Now I remember everything. What does he mean by remember everything? The knowledge of the Atman he had learnt all his life and which he had forgotten. That now he remembers. I remember my real nature. So that's very interesting. My delusion has been dispelled. I remember everything by your grace. Okay. I was telling you about, like, everything runs on memories. The whole creation is running on memories. Sri Ramakrishna, in one of his easy teachings, say, In India, we have these grandmas, they'll pick up this and save that and take this and save that. And you kind of, why do you want to keep this? Throw it out. You don't know. And, and when something happens and you need something, you go to grandma, I remember you keeping those things, saving those things. Oh yeah, I know. You'll need it. So, saying Kali is like that grandma who takes all the seeds, gathers all the seeds, and she keeps it in a kind of a, in India we used to have a kind of a pot, an earthenware pot, and he kept all this. Sri Ramakrishna, she keep buttons and blue pills, etc., etc. And so the entirety of this creation at the time of dissolution is gathered up by the Divine Mother Kali and kept as seeds within her. And at the time of creation, she will project it out. That's why the Upanishads also say, this universe has been created according to the old pattern, the old memories, the old karmas. So now you know, if your life and your mind and everything is run on memories, the universe also runs on memories. And the final, you can say, repository of all memories is the Divine Mother. And in a microcosmic form, we have these memories which runs us. So this is memories and memories. As I said, we have memories and memories of memories and memories. It's a vast, vast, vast. It's a beautiful, you can say, network that binds us. If we know how to snip, where to snip, the whole thing collapses. And as we use that prayer in the beginning, chant the name of the Lord and His glory, chanting one memory can counter the other. We know, like, if you have a traumatic memory of something, you can start countering that with other forms of memory. So in the yoga aphorism, it's called Pratipaksha Bhavana. To counter old memories, new sets of memories have to be brought, and they counter. And slowly in time, they'll get diluted. So this is how. So when you keep on snipping at memories, that will happen only when with the name of God, or meditation, or the power of the will, that is Jnana Yoga, or through the mystic control of the mind. So this makes life then worth living. Once you understand, oh, this is what the whole thing is, now I know where to get out of this and how to get out of this network. So we have done the network of our own memories and we are trapped into it. We can learn to snip it away. Just 2 or 3 snips and then everything falls down. Because it's a network, you see. Everything. So this is memories and memories. It's a very fascinating subject. For a long time, I was thinking about, okay, what are memories, what are memories? So I had written a series of articles on this because I was forgetting things and I was kind of disillusioned. What? How could I can forget? So the computers are called very powerful when they have, data storage, huge. And the person also is considered powerful when unlimited data there in useful data, of course. So this is a little part of a booklet that was published long time back. encountering the memory self. Okay. That much for today. Om, peace, peace, peace. Okay, we'll take these questions first. Okay. They are answering each other's questions. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, yes. Yeah, dementia, people don't remember so many ones. Yeah, but then dementia is like the instrument has now become disabled or weakened or diseased. But those memories are still there. Down. It's like you play the piano. You're playing the piano. The brain is the piano. And suppose somebody comes and takes a sledgehammer and smashes the piano. Well, you can't play that piano anymore. It doesn't mean that the player is dead or is absent. The player remains. Okay. What is divine memory you referred to? Divine memory is the name of God, the chanting, everything that connects you to your real nature as a divine being. Everything. That is divine memories. According to scriptures, do the elements really have their own outside of Brahman? Can mind memories be creating them to make experience? I can't get the question. According to scriptures, do the elements have a reality of their own outside? See, the elements, they rise up from Brahman through the power of Maya. Okay, that is important. We cannot have elements and then we have Brahman as reality as separate. In Vedanta, we can't separate, and that's the reason why in Vedanta we can't separate God and man. People get, oh, what is this? Yes. If you separate God from man or from the universe, you are going into a philosophical spiral down. We can't have it. So elements, gods, that elements in the universe, they all one. You've got to search where exactly is the divine within all these elements. Okay. Grandma's purse always has what you need. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. We have seen that. What happens during psychedelic experiences like LSD? Whoa. Yeah. What happens is every time you take LSD or psychedelics or whatever, there's a different experience. You cannot replicate that same experience. It'll never. Number one. Secondly, with LSD, your brain is overwhelmed with chemicals it can't manage. And it keeps on firing randomly. Then there's a distortion of the self. The moment there's because it's the self that puts everything in coherence. So the brain goes for a while, poof, and you see all those lights and sounds and the schizophrenic images, and you think they are real. It's illusion. But it gives you an idea of your own consciousness is not just limited to your brain and body. That's a good thing about it. We think, oh, my consciousness is only this, so much. So they're also called mind expanding drugs. So it gives you a glimpse into something that is more profound, the profound aspects of consciousness. But if that was the case, everybody would be yogis, you see. Everybody would have. We are popping pills. Why practice yoga? In yoga, you can liberate yourself. You cannot liberate yourself with psychedelics. That's what it is. And then once you get hooked on it, God save you. Okay.
It seems like in the physical realm, there's like law, like for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Whereas like in the thought realm or memories, you can have sort of positive thoughts attract other positive thoughts, negative memories attract other negative memories. So it's a little bit slightly different. But if you're trying, I guess one thing that you said was knowledge doesn't have that same compounding, pure knowledge doesn't have that same compounding effect. So is it safe that you need sort of knowledge in order to stop compounding cycle?
What stops you from attaining knowledge, true knowledge or liberation is memories. So you're countering one set of memories with the other. Like Sri Ramakrishna says, a thorn has pierced your foot, and then you find there's another thorn. You take the second thorn and pull the first one and throw both of them away. So this ordinary knowledge is a thorn. You remove the thorn of ignorance. So what remains is that which is beyond knowledge and ignorance. That is not sensory knowledge. We're talking. Pure knowledge is supersensory. Then if that knowledge is part of you, it will rise spontaneously once the obstructions are removed. And where karma is concerned, as I say, every action has an opposite and equal reaction. That is Newton's, of course. But then it's even more complex. Sometimes you get more than what you bargained for. You do something, I didn't want all these things. Or you put tons of effort and nothing happens. It's like a damn squib. There are also various factors. Karma has got various factors. So the question was about every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So your one karma, of course, will attract. You will find that this happens also because you're attracted to certain things because of karma. There's a kind of a similarity between them. This kind of, and that's why, like water seeks its own levels, So karma also will seek that level. So don't worry. Next Sunday we have Karma Yoga, which Swami Brahmatmananda is going to speak. Liberation of the body, mind and soul. So save your questions for that next Sunday.
You mentioned like about eye movements when accessing memories, different eye movements. You have mentioned that in a different talk also. So I'm thinking like, how in different situations people have different eye movements, like giving a public speaking, talking to a stranger, or some different, giving an interview, and people have all these different eye movements. Is it the same thing, or when that eye movements are saying something, or it's just random?
No, it is saying something. You are accessing all those memory banks. When you're talking, you can see how my eyeballs are moving up and down. But when you are sitting with somebody, when your mind is calm, you will look straight. That is a sign of confidence, fearlessness, assurance, honesty, etc. If you're trying to hide something, immediately you say something and your eyes shift, and the other person knows. We can detect a lie immediately. It's the most natural thing. It's not only that eye movement, your body movement itself will, the tone of your voice also will change. So you can know that. So these eye movements, if you can see they are very deliberate, then the person is quiet and can see these eye movements. And this is one of the most sensitive parts. The optic nerves and the eyes are just an extension of the brain, actually. So anything that happens there immediately it comes out through these eyes. Okay, just there's another. Is higher knowledge still knowledge known? Oh yeah. Knowledge has, consciousness has the power of self-reflection. I know that I know. It's always there. You don't need to have another knowledge to validate your knowledge. Never. Otherwise, it's not higher knowledge. It's like putting a mirror to your own knowledge. You can see it reflects. Oh, this is what. And higher knowledge is always indubitable. There's no doubt. I know it. If there's room for doubt, then it's not higher knowledge. Okay. Thank you very much. So we have a retreat coming up on Saturday, this is 10th June at Tapovan, Snohomish County, Arlington. And then Sunday, of course, next Sunday, we have Swami Brahmatmananda at gym. We'll speak on Karma Yoga, fulfillment. Okay. And Wednesdays and Fridays, we have classes on the Gospel and the Householder Disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. We also, we are going to have, as I say, an annual general meeting on 18th. That's again a Sunday. Those who are members requested to attend this. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.